People over 30 without a degree. How's life going? Before we start with the first story, please hit a subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Story 1. No degree, but I was in a workforce development program being around 24 or so. It was a year long, and they got me an internship with a Fortune 500 that turned into a legit job. Been with the company about 6 years. Now I'm 30, and I've gone up one role while being here too. Make about $100,000 a year. TLDR, a lot better than I expected at this stage without a degree. Story 2. 35 and I quit school after my associates, which I've never used. I started a skilled trade and after 2 years opened my own business. I make decent money for my age, work about 30 hours a week, looking to expand my business, and I love my job. If I stayed on the track I was in school, I would likely have never made this much money, and I would have been stuck working 40+ hours a week until retirement. My partner stayed in school when I quit, and she is about to finish her PhD. She will out-earn me most likely because she chose a better degree and she is very good at what she does. Without my income the last 6 years, we would have seriously struggled though. I am as happy I changed my career path as I am that she didn't. I couldn't do what she does, and she couldn't do what I do. Story 3. I worked in restaurants for 10 years, hated it, hated life, always fucking broke, had zero skills, always felt like a loser. And then at 30 I got fed up with it, and I started a 5-year apprenticeship with the local HVAC union. Starting pay day 1 is $23.50 an hour. We get 12 weeks of training up front, then 1 day a week of school and 4 at work for the next few years. 5th year mostly school. 5th year apprentices make $55 an hour and journeymen make $62 an hour. We also get great insurance. $15 an hour automatically into K and a great pension. Current retirees at full time for 35 years get around $6,000 a month, and HRA. Tools are provided and school is full of world-class machinery. The union training centers also have free wellness centers. Any minor illness or anything they can handle there is free. Even the prescriptions are free. They don't accept money even if you tried. They also have dozens of free trimester or year-long classes in tons of different things. In less than a decade, I'll be making $130,000 a year and will have developed extremely useful skills. No degree. The hardest part about joining a trade is not beating myself up for not doing it earlier and missing out on 10 years of pension. Also, they don't test for marijuana. Story 4. My husband doesn't have a degree and started a government job last year. He has had 2 raises. Get 21% into 401k because they match, and $300 month onto his HSA card among the many other benefits he pays almost nothing for. And he gets paid well, knowing his wages will only increase over time. Story 5. Great. As soon as I stopped making money and status my entire life. I work, I play my bills and spend my free time doing fun stuff. Career and money don't define who you are, and you shouldn't allow people to make you feel like it is. Yes, having lots of money is cool, but not as cool as loving who you are. Story 6. Pretty good. Got a wife, house, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 3 cars. Bills are covered every month. Bellies are full every night. I do intend to get back into classes for a psych degree in the next couple of years. For those concerned about my choice in a psych degree, recent state legislation will pay my tuition for a 4-year degree, making that choice free, minus books. My job pays an extra $100 a month for having any 4-year degree, so over the course of the next 20 to 25 years, it's more than paid for itself. Ultimately, the goal is to get into counseling as a retirement gig where I'm not concerned about money. A master's or doctorate can be paid for out of pocket after a few more raises, which are guaranteed as a government employee. Essentially, I'm not concerned with return on investment. Story 7. I'll be straightforward and say it's good, but I've also got to admit, while I'm not a trust fund baby, my family has enough to smooth over issues that would be difficult for people from poorer backgrounds. My first car was my dad's old car and not a beater, for example. So while I'm not swimming in a completely unearned lifestyle, the evidence of my background is there. And without knowing everyone else's backgrounds here, The snapshot of where people are now is not particularly meaningful. I could say I have a house, wife and kid. A job that makes me happy, but I don't earn a lot. It's satisfying, but I'm concerned about retirement. How much is what I made for myself? How much is my background? Or what if this is my life story and those things are inseparable, but I'm self-aware enough to acknowledge it and wish to help others? Because it's a goddamn dice roll. Story 8. Canadian Red Seal Millwright. Factory Automation Trade Cert. It's not technically a degree, but it is a 4-year program of high-intensity school and work under license, 6-figure income, independent contractor. I am a master of my life. I get to pick and choose my clientele. Sometimes my clients get fired. I take on clients and projects based on what is interesting to me. Story 9. Well, I sacrificed the entirety of my 20s in an abusive relationship and being a stay-at-home mom. So when I left at 28, it was like starting over again. Now 30, I'm working towards a certificate very, very slowly because I'm also trying to provide as a single mom. It's not where I want to be at 30, but like I'm working towards goals, and I'm trying not to beat myself up over it. I know who I am, and I am okay with working towards something, but still entering the unknown. I'm not as career successful, but doesn't mean I won't be one day. Just focused all my time on those babies while they were little. Honestly, no regret. Story 10. Way better than I expected, really. If you show a passion for what you do paired with a great work ethic, that's all that matters in the real world. You'll soon make a great reputation for yourself. My lack of degree has never come up in my 20 years of being. If you sit there and pin your lack of quality earning on your lack of a degree, I hope I'm not the first to tell you that it's not the lack of a $100,000 piece of paper that no one cares about outside of entry. Story 11. Finding a new job is a lot harder than people with degrees. I struggled a lot to make a career switch and get taken seriously as an applicant. That being said, I've been with the same company for over 10 years now and have an amazing team that works for me and have been very fortunate in the career and opportunities that I've been able to carve out for myself. Story 12. Doing very well without a degree. I'm in a senior software engineering position in a very large company. I have a high school diploma. While in the Air Force, doing mainframe computer maintenance, I was extremely fortunate that I fell into a very interesting software project that was a pet project of the general. This was the late 80s. I wrote software that plotted near real-time radar data, as well as data sourced from the Army and Navy onto maps for decision makers to make tactical decisions. They had planned to do it on $60,000 DEC workstations. DEC was a year late and way over budget. I showed how they could do it on Mac IIs, and I wrote the first generation software for the Mac II myself. A colonel I worked with retired and came to work at this company in a senior position. He made me an offer I could not refuse. He's long since passed, but I've been here for 28 years. This is a screenshot of what I did in 1990. The user could zoom in on maps to get more details. This software was networked across the base so people could share data between machines. The weather, upper right, was input by forecasters in their office and available to all users. The radar data, tracks on upper left, was from the Alaskan ROCC. Army data for North-South Korea was from the US Army. Story 13. I drive around a warehouse and throw empty boxes into a massive box, then when full throw all the boxes a second time into a compactor baler machine. I don't even give a crap about money, the flashy new car or big giant house, etc. To believe those types of things are what makes you successful in life is wrong to me. Those kinds of things are the reason our world is so crappy these days. Story 14. Own my own home, 3-bed, 3-bath, detached with garage. Own my own fancy German car. Oh, and I have zero debt. The mistake most young people make is thinking that their only avenue in life is degrees. Go get a trade. You'd be shocked how much a plumber or a spark make. Hell, I used work for a company that set up and supported computer networks for businesses. If you didn't have a contract with us, my time was worth £125 an hour as soon as I put the phone down. If I got stuck in traffic for an hour on my way to you, you were paying £125 for it. And all I had was an A certification. which only cost me a couple of hundred to get. You don't need 4 to 8 years of whatever to make money. The only reason to go after a degree is because you know that's what you want to do in life. Everyone else just looking to make good money should look to the trades. Story 15. Partner doesn't have a degree and is doing just fine big-name corporate job in it at about 90K per year. Took him a while to figure out what he wanted to do for money, and then has worked his way up. It is fairly friendly to folks without degrees, and with the exception of a few fields overall, experience often trumps formal education. I have a master's and don't work in the field of my degree. I do make considerably more, but more because I came from an SF tech company and was ambitious. Critical difference between us, he is more chill than I am, and I got rewarded when my company was acquired. Ironically, the company that I was at DGA about anyone's degrees, including mine, they were all skill, experience over formal education. I'm in, now corporate, HR. We're both 40. If you're a youngin' asking this question, my unsolicited advice is learn a trade or a particular skill if you don't want to go to school. Alright folks, that's a wrap. If you like more of this, please hit a like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your thoughts in the comment below. I'll see you in the next video.